If you are part of a blended family, there is a very real possibility that your children may have to wait years, sometimes even decades, to receive anything from your estate. And in some situations, they may never receive it at all. Not because you did not intend to provide for them, but because of how your plan is structured. Today, I want to walk you through how to make sure your biological children actually receive something when you pass, without having to wait for your spouse to pass away first. Blended families, that include stepchildren, step-parents, life partners, require a different level of planning. You are not just planning for one group of people. You are balancing two important priorities: taking care of your spouse or your life partner and making sure your children are not left behind. Most estate plans do not properly account for that balance, and that is where problems begin. Here's what most people do. They say, I'm going to leave everything to my partner or my spouse, and when they pass, it will go to my kids. It sounds simple. It feels fair, and it avoids difficult conversations. But this approach creates two major issues. The first issue is timing. If your spouse lives another 10, 15, or even 20 years, your children will not receive anything during that time. And that delay can matter more than people realize. Your children might be buying their first home, raising a family, or trying to build financial stability. And the support you intended for them is not available when they may need it most. The second issue is risk. Once your spouse inherits your assets outright, those assets belong to them completely. That means they can change their estate plan, give assets to their own children, remarry and redirect everything, or simply use the assets over time. So now your children are not only waiting, they are also relying on something that is not guaranteed. So what is the best way to approach this? You want a plan that allows your children to receive something when you pass, while still making sure your partner or your spouse is financially secure. And the key to that is structure. Instead of leaving everything to your spouse, you divide your estate intentionally. At a high level, your estate can be split into two parts. One part goes directly to your biological children. The other part is set aside to support your spouse, often through a trust. This allows your spouse to use the assets, receive income, and maintain their lifestyle. At the same time, your children receive something immediately and are not left waiting for years or even decades. Let's make this more real. Imagine you have a home, savings, and investments. Instead of leaving everything to your partner or your spouse, you structure your plan so that a portion of your asset goes directly to your children when you pass. The remaining portion goes into a trust for your spouse. Your spouse is still supported and taken care of, but your children are also provided for the right way. That balance is what people are trying to achieve, but without the right plan, it does not happen. This is not just about money. It is also about clarity and expectations. When things are unclear, it can lead to confusion and sometimes conflict, especially in blended families where relationships can already be more complex. A well-structured plan removes uncertainty and makes your intentions clear to everyone involved. If you are in a blended family, here are a few questions to think about. Do you want your children to receive something immediately upon your passing? How long are you comfortable with them waiting for their inheritance? Are you relying on your spouse to handle things later? Or is your plan structured to make it happen automatically? Because those are very different outcomes. If you are not completely sure that your current plan handles this correctly, this is something worth reviewing. At Allenby Law, we help blended families create estate plans that are both thoughtful and clearly structured. We make sure your spouse is protected, while also making sure your children are not left waiting or that they are not at risk. We simplify the process and design plans that truly reflect your intentions. If you would like to review your current plan or create one that gives you clarity and confidence, you can reach out to us for a consultation. Because estate planning is not just about who gets what. It is about making sure your family is taken care of in the right time and in the right way. And if you found that this is helpful, follow along for more insights on how to protect your family and your future.